Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News. Today I want to tell you about how an Illinois court finally came to their senses, the Philly teen who made a wooden gun in shop class, and the crazy new law in Delaware which would make it a crime to even post the plans for 3D printed firearms on the interwebs. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to the bold, crisp, uncompromising flavor of small batch barrel-aged night vision from TNVC.com. The power to tax is the power to destroy. This was settled way back in 1819 in McCulloch versus Maryland. Literally a landmark SCOTUS ruling, but somehow we're still arguing about this. The Illinois Supreme Court recently found the state's tax on guns and ammo is indeed unconstitutional. That's the camel's nose in the tent for legal arguments against fines, fees, and discretionary permits in Illinois, but it's a state court, so it won't hold any precedent for federal courts. That said, the reasoning is still sound. Now, I'm not a lawyer because I enjoy garlic far too much, but wouldn't it be possible to effectively argue against the NFA on the same grounds that the power to tax is the power to deprive a citizen of their rights? Now, I know some of you folks out there in TV land are attorneys who work for the light, so what do you think? Can we use McCulloch versus Maryland to take down the NFA? Comment below. If you like seeing stuff more than not seeing stuff, take a look at our sponsor, TNVC.com, your source for quality night vision gear to make you the bump in the night. A Philadelphia man is upset with the school district for allowing his 14-year-old son to fashion a sort of gun-shaped object in shop class. He said he caught the boy playing with it with his brother, and the boy had planned to color in the rest of it. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, as probably the only gun tuber guy to say this, but honestly, I don't blame this parent. Look, it isn't about gun rights. Minors don't have rights, except insofar as their parents do. Legally, minors are more or less owned by their parents until they are emancipated by a court or they turn 18. Partly because kids do stupid things, like make toy guns that look just like real guns and carry them around. Any responsible adult should have stepped in and stopped it. I know I'd want to be told if my boy made something hideous like this. I mean, what even is this? When I read the headline, I expected something more like this. That's something I could be proud of. But this abomination? Nay, nay. So let's put 30 seconds on the clock and give it both barrels. I got a splinter just looking at this thing. Gonna need some more shoe polish there, Dillinger. Only gun Alec Baldwin should have been allowed to handle. 8 out of 10 would shoot. At least it doesn't have any MIM parts, am I right? Can't even desk pop. AFT calls this an 8.7% goes to Bumpy Boy.
Straight to jail on this one.
Can you chew it into the shape of a Pop-Tart? Does it take Glock mags? And time! Delaware Governor John Carney just signed HB 124 into law, which makes it extra more illegal for a domestic violence abuser or the subject of a restraining order to buy a gun. Carney also signed HB 125, which is aimed at ghost guns, but is similarly redundant in at least parts. It bans covert guns, described as guns which don't look like guns, which are already illegal under federal law, and undetectable firearms, which are also, ding, 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 already illegal. The parts which are not redundant with federal law ban the possession of an unfinished firearm frame or receiver without a serial number unless you're a licensed dealer, and also makes it illegal to make a 3D printed gun or even post plans on the internet. Now folks, when you are so desperate to try and stop free people from doing freedom stuff that you pass a bill attempting to keep them from even talking about it, you know you have lost the war. At that point, you're just a tiny, sad little ineffectual man with a bad haircut cowering in his bunker waiting out the inevitable. I mean, this is the part where I ought to talk about free speech and free exchange of ideas and how you can't stop the signal, but I can't help but get distracted by how amazingly pathetic this all is. These people are scared of ghost guns. Not because the criminals are using them, but because their very existence threatens the top-down hierarchical authoritarian structures that keep them in power. They fear loss of control, they fear an armed populace, and if someone wants to take our guns, you can bet it is because they intend to do something they could never get away with if we were armed. Well, friends, that's all I have for you today, but before I go, I just want to take the time to remind you to check and please see whether you're still subscribed to our channel. See, our robot overlords in the tube of yous know what we want better than we could possibly know for ourselves, so they just go ahead and unsubscribe viewers from any channels they think express wrongthink, like yours truly. Now, you folks out there in TV land know censorship makes puppies cry, and Captain America is very disappointed. So, don't forget to check every now and then just to be sure you're still subscribed to us. While you're at it, make sure you ring that notification bell so you never miss a word of our gun rights propaganda. And if you want to get email alerts for the best deals, the projects we're working on, and the hottest stuff you missed on the ARFCOM forums, you'll also find a Linktree link down there in the doobly-doo for our newsletter. And remember, if you want to help us keep bringing you banger content like this, please support the folks who support us. Not only does TNVC.com give you night vision with that cool, refreshing, never bitter taste that goes down smooth, they also have mounts, lights, and all sorts of other gear to make you the bump in the night. I love you.